So it's wolves this time. Like the last couple times I've done just nothing but rabbits, and then by accident once I did almost nothing but bears. This time it's wolves. It's wolves this time. This time it's just wolves. Hey, doing cats and kittens? It's me, your weird Uncle XV, coming at you, running out of ideas for interesting things to stream, and I am staring at these wolves' faces. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm glad that I was able to. I'm glad that I was able to catch you after you got out of work, Mr. McGregor. In the meantime, this time it is wolves, and I am looking at my wolves' faces, and there is a difference. That's great to hear. It's hot. It's trash outside. The planet's gonna burn. Everyone's doing fantastic. Let's do wolves. I am again looking at the faces of my wolveses, and I am noticing there is a difference between their faces, and I am wondering, do each of the races have their own sexual dimorphism? And if that is the case, which one is which? Will I be able to tell the difference between them on site? That would be pretty cool. Anyway, moving forward, we're doing just wolves. We will only be recruiting wolves, and we will be giving all of our wolves embarrassing nicknames. Baron Desolin and Thea Hesselthwaite. Thea Hesselthwaite. So that there's a little gray stripe down her nose. Is that Lady Wolf? And is Baron a male name? I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, moving out. Hold on one second. And away we go. So, the reason why I am doing this is not just because I have completely... Ooh, good. Is not just because... Yes, I have completely forgotten to do a ruin run. It's probably not... It's yeah. When I eventually get, I'll tell you the truth. When I eventually get around to doing nothing but weasels, I am probably going to do a ruin run. They have a lot of they have talents and they have passives that reward you heavily for ruining cards. So that's basically what I'm doing. Is I'm more or less rediscovering what each of these races are all about. That's the truth of what is happening here. I am second. I have. I'm taking let me try that a third time. I'm taking these characters in these races for granted. I have spent a long time. I figured out that, well, like most other players do, I figured out that you can beat the game pretty easily with a beaver and a mouse. So I focused very heavily on mice because mice are very reliable. They're very reliably prince killers. I'll take that brace. Mice have some of the most powerful talents in the game. They have very reliable talents. They have very reliable passives. They have Opportunist, which is legitimately the single most unhingedly busted, broken passive in the game. It's so ridiculously powerful. And during that entire time, I had been fully ignoring rabbits. And not just ignoring rabbits, but trash-talking rabbits. Like, I talked shit about rabbits as I was refusing to take them along to things, completely ignoring the fact that that practiced maneuver, which was a major part of their entire kit, that practiced maneuver, that was, that wasn't... that's not an unlockable card. That's just part of their basic kit. I didn't even bother unlocking half of their shit. I cared about rabbits so little. And now I am not paying attention to what I ought to be doing. And I'm going to take some damage in the face as a result of it. Anyway. I am going to basically, I'm going to go through each of the races. I'm going to try seeing, is it possible? Is it possible to beat this game as, homogenous race? Which is going to be, oh, good God. Shit. I'm going to go after the arena. I'm giving myself one do-over. Last room was so fun to watch. Yes, it does. It does. So the question that was asked, in case you can't read it on the screen, the last one was so fun to watch. Hold on, let me get that back up on the screen. I was wondering if the swap gives 15 armor to both triggers, even when someone else initiates the swap, and the answer is yes. There's one of the rabbit talents is as one, or attack as one, or fight as one. What it is you need to have at least 3 individuals. Hold on. You know what? Let me show you what it looks like. Give me 1 second so that so it is under talents. Come on. Hurry up. Hair. Fight as one. There we go. Move or swap 2 allies other than the active character. Deal each ally's weapon damage to a random opponent. That is, it's a pretty good card, and it does trigger Maneuverer. It triggers Maneuverer. It triggers Light Step. It triggers all of those things. It's if that character moves at all, that character gains 15 armor. If that character swaps places with another character, both of them gain 15 armor. That also counts, by the way, if like Obelisk, if Obelisk swaps them, they get all the benefit for those because they are still being moved. If the big fat fatties, if the warden swaps their position, it still gives them those benefits. And the benefits, hold on. So the biggest problem with hairs overall is that practiced maneuver is god tier. Offload, fight as one, and arsenal are pretty good, and joint strike is okay. And most of the rest of these are okay, like pivot, or actively terrible, like any of the trap cards. Over onto passives, hairs have. Hold on 1 second, because this happens on occasion. It's not showing me the second. So hair, you're not going to let me do it. Fantastic. So let's take a look at unlocks. I'm trying to mouse over the hair, the passive, so it'll show you what it is that they're getting. Ardent, light-footed, and maneuverer. These 3 passives all of these passives are amazing. All 3 of them are so good. And it's funny because the unlockable talents, for the most part, really aren't that impressive. The best talents that hairs have are available as soon as you begin the game. As soon as you unlock hairs. Hang on a second. Hold on. Wait. Passives, hairs. Still not. There it is. Okay, good. So, impulsive. This is the least powerful of all of the hair passives, and it's still pretty good. Whenever this character moves, they gain 4 strength. That's really good. All of their passives, all 5 of them, 3 of whom are unlockable. All 5 of their passives are really, really strong. And what's screwed up is that eccentric, which is broken. That's not an unlockable. The ones you unlock are ardent, light-footed, and maneuverer. This has been available from the beginning. That's crazy. Anyway, moving on. So yes, the answer to your question was if someone else triggers that movement, yes, they do still get all of those benefits. So because I had dramatically undervalued hairs so much, it got me to thinking, what other complete misconceptions have I had? What else am I leaving on the table by basically always favoring mice, and starting off almost always with mouse and beaver. What am I losing? What else am I missing? So I'm going to try to have runs of each race as just homogenous races, just to see what am I passing up. Anyway, so I've explained myself adequately, I would say. Let's just proceed, shall we? Also, especially because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. It's been a long morning already. All right, so I really like using wolves a lot. I'm a big fan of wolves, but I don't usually start with wolves. Ooh, God damn it! I am not paying good enough attention, am I? Look at that. I don't generally start with wolves because wolves need some time to really rev up. They don't have anything that really makes them useful against the first handful of fights. Okay, so that's just going to be 6 damage on top of the 9. Fine. Okay. It's not going to trigger the bleed. But I really need to pay attention to what I'm doing. So as a result, I don't often take wolves as part of a starting party. And when you don't take something as part of a starting party, I've noticed that you don't run into them. You know, you don't necessarily run into decent wolves. You don't necessarily run into wolves at all. So I don't often go with wolves, and I really like wolves. Oh, wow. All of these are really good. Move one card from your banish pile to your hand, and then banish. Okay. Overhaul, swap front to rear enemy ranks. I know that this one is absurdly strong. Strength of Will is the one that we're going to be taking because it is draw 3 cards, and then I can discard cards. And a fucking lore master right away. Look at that. Yeah, seriously, that would be ridiculous. I'm reasonably shocked at how badly. Gosh darn it! I'm doing a really good job of talking and interacting with human beings this morning, aren't I? Let me try this again. So, I was blown away by how strong rabbits are. It was extremely humbling because I have talked a lot of shit about rabbits. And then to see how very strong they are without really that much kajiggering. Because the first run that I tried to do, even the one that I didn't get everything that I was looking for, I still didn't really have that much trouble on my way towards the prince. Well, towards the warden, because I didn't manage to get the prince. All right. We're going to go after the weapon cache first. Anyway, I'm going to focus on actually trying to... Ooh, hey, good. I'm going to focus on actually trying to pay attention to what the hell it is that I'm doing. They don't have a lot of good ways of... have anything that gives them armor yet. Just... Okay. Babbling to myself. Moving along. Okay. I want to go after courage. I'm going after courage because the max stamina is way too good. Okay, thank God for that. I was afraid that it was going to have Hasselthwaite, who only has 13 health at the moment. But okay, this is fine. Okay. So anyway, yes. It was humbling seeing how very, very strong rabbits turn out to be. Now, the big thing about wolves is that they are able to use everybody else's cards. And the problem with wolves is that if they don't have a lot of other cards, if they don't have a lot of other cards to access that ability, their racial lags behind a bit. Anyway. Now, also important to know about wolves is that they have some of the more powerful talents in the game. They have the only talent that has ever been nerfed in this game by Montebello. And they have Sever, which is a card that can potentially... Second, hold on. They have a card... Sever can potentially be a one-hit kill. There, that'll just knock you down. Okay. They also have a lot of abilities that revolve around banishing cards and bringing... Oh, hello, Kilderkin! And a lot of cards that bring banishes right back into your hand. So, let's see. The other reason why I'm going with all wolves this time is because I've been thinking about possibly leaning into using wolves as... Wolf Rabbit as a strong starting team. Master is yours, so... Okay. So, the most efficient way probably to do this, to have... to lean into wolves, is probably going to end up being to make sure that I always have a lot of cards in reserve, a lot of weapons in my stash. I think. This whole thing about like exclusively only using one kind of... Ooh, digging deep is good, but I also do need... I'm going to take that digging deep. Alright, so money first. Quick thinking, hang on a minute. We're both almost to 3. It doesn't really matter who. So we're going to go with Hesselthwaite because she is slightly lower in health. Alright, so first of all, we're going to increase will by 1. I don't know if I'm going to go more than 3 will with either of them. Not amazing, but not terrible. I'm going to take Bastion, and that also means that I'm going to be swapping some combat positions. And that unfortunately means... Well, I don't have reserves yet, and I don't have double team yet. So this isn't going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt me. All right. Putting, excuse me, when I say it's not going to hurt me, having them in different rows and not immediately next to each other, that's not going to be too big of a deal, or it shouldn't be. So, Wolf racial ability. Wolf racial ability is they can spend 1 will to use anyone else's cards. I am prepping for moving forward. I already have, for example, Hasselthwaite already has 1 card that specifically uses will, and we have one weapon in the stash. So they can spend will to use the weapon straight out of the stash. So I am... I increased Hesselthwaite's will so that they can use a weapon or a talent out of the stash if necessary, and also still have enough will to use Lore Master at least once. If that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, like, it's reasonable to have completely fallen out of habit of considering racial abilities. My last 2 runs were just rabbits, and I mean, rabbits don't give a shit about their racial ability. 16 damage coming in the front row. It's not going to be a big deal. We'll be able to take... Yeah. That will not be a problem. See, okay. So, Rondel Dagger is being held by Desolate. Hasselthwaite has 6 charge. That Rondel Dagger, with the 6 charge, that'll be able to just wreck the Enforcer. But it's someone else's. So, Will... That's what I'm thinking. It's also the reason why it's the reason why I've wanted them to go. It's the reason why I keep on trying to make wolves work for a starting for the starting team, but it can be a little bit difficult. Unlike weasels unlike mice, and especially weasels, and as it turns out, rabbits, their racial abilities don't really help you out too much in the early stages of the game. So they come online in a very, very big way later on, but right at the very beginning, they are very much reliant on what the rest of their team has, if that makes sense. So this, only allies get this. So I am feeding... Just a moment. I should trade their loadout then, because if you have the Rondel Dagger... Okay. I promise, I am making sense to myself at the very least. I forgot to click into the... Great job, XP. I forgot to click into the equipments. All right. Head in the game. I'm here. I'm present. All right, so we're going to swap this over. And the reason we're going to swap this over is because Desolin is able to give strength directly to Hasselthwaite. We don't need the superior heavy, and we're going to leave the round shield in the stash for right now. Also doing very, very well on money, too. I was very satisfied with that last run from Thursday night. That I was very, very satisfied with the way that turned out. Like just about everything that it went just about as good as it possibly could have gone. Second, hold on. Okay. Spoiler alert. The rabbit railgun turns out to be very effective against the prince. We just sort of like rev up a bunch of rabbits, and then one of them explodes and takes Obelisk with him. All right. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh no. Okay, this is a problem. I've been doing slightly too well in terms of armor, so I'm going to take some bleed. So 4 damage. I'll live. But it is a pain. I'll take the quick hands. Desolin has caught up. All right. Okay. Flow is good. So now, anytime he plays a talent, and it doesn't necessarily have to be his talent. Anytime he plays any talent, a card gets dropped to 0. I have more than enough money for a sparring partner. We're going to increase some stamina. I'm going to get Hasselthwaite's stamina up so that they both have 4 stamina to will. And that's their will is probably going to stay there for at least a little while. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be necessary for me to have more than 3, but we'll see. And I'm actually in really good shape for it's a good starting rent. It's a good starting amount of armor. I do quite like that. Okay. I also feel like I have probably been undervaluing Rondel Dagger as well. I think that it is. I have come to consider it as it's basically an almost perfect offhand. For the main hand should be Falchion because of the 11 weapon damage, but frankly, I mean like their club with its 9 weapon damage is also fine. There's an axe that has 9 weapon damage that is also kind of it's fine. But Rondel Dagger in the offhand, as it turns out, is it's pretty intense. Moment. Also because it gives they always have something to trigger something for something that has multi-strike. Something that has multi-strike. Anyway, but I ramble. Okay. I'm going to take this tensions because I want to have something that has... I want to have more zero-cost cards. The reason why I like having zero-cost cards is this. Hang on. Specifically this. I want to have... I like putting upgrades onto zero-cost cards because it guarantees that I will actually be using those cards. I am going to be putting this onto tensions just in case. I want to draw some cards and I don't want to have to worry about potentially needing to discard anything first. We're doing fine on armor, so we'll okay. Yes, absolutely. A second flurry is fine. And let's take a look. We are only taking wolves. There is a wolf, so first off, let's take a look at Merwin Trestlefort. This is one of the most frustrating starting weapon builds that you can possibly get from a PC generated character. The Poignard banishes itself and gives you a buff that will cause that Poignard to come back into your hand whenever you draw your main card, your main weapon. However, if the Poignard is in the main hand, it just banishes itself and then never comes back. That Quarterstaff would be kind of nice. That Hunter Trap would not. We are going to be going ahead with Amelia Candiford. Hello, Amelia. Superior Light, Kite Shield. We're going to swap this around. Okay, so we have a Kite Shield in the stash in case of emergency. And Candiford actually looks like she's built kind of the way that I want to. She's got 2... Of course it's Spitter. Why would I expect it to be anything other than Spitter? Thea Hasselthwaite with the gray line down her nose. And Amelia Candiford. Candiford? Whatever. Amelia with the gray line down her nose. I think gray line down the center of the nose, I think that is female wolf face. No gray line, and I don't know if Baron is a male name. I'm going to assume that it is. Their face I think also is slightly narrower. I think that her face is slightly narrower. Yeah, it really is. There have been... I cannot believe... Am I this blind? Or just this stupid? God damn. This whole time. Talk about being embarrassed. Like... This whole time, there has been sexual dimorphism between all of these races, and I've literally never noticed. That's very embarrassing. Okay, hold on one second. well, that's gonna suck, but at the very least, we're able to knock through barricade. It seems like a waste of it's a waste of some strength, but whatever. Okay. Think just about almost there we go. So go fuck yourself, Spitter, you utter turd.
Hey, little girl. Yes.
Emma has come in to make sure that I remember that she is very, very small. Hey, sweetie. Good girl. All right. So, Kite Shield in the stash. Canterford doesn't really have a lot of great ways of getting armor on, so we're going to Kite Shield and discard some cards that I don't really care about too much, and just throw out a bunch of armor. So, okay. Didn't really do very good. Alright, whatever. That's fine. Keep in mind, cards in the stash will banish if they discard. So, as long as I don't let them discard by either playing them or discarding them instead of like allowing them to discard at the end of the turn, I can keep it in my stash. They just sit there for me. Is that going to be it for you? That's it for you. Okay, so let's put around a little bit of armor. See, the game thinks it's being slick by continually throwing Spitter at me because it thinks I can't handle Spitter, I guess. It doesn't seem to realize that after fighting basically nothing but Spitter as a First Street boss, I've become quite good at Spitter. Okay. Nice. All right. I'm going to take that akimbo. And I already have a superior heavy. I'm not worried about it right now. All right, so let's see. Almost four, just turned 2. Canterford. Well, that's a huge pain. Born Leader is fine. We'll take Born Leader. I haven't been seeing... Well, unfortunately, I haven't seen any wolf-specific passives just yet. I know that some of them are very, very strong. It's quite a bit of damage coming in on House Oathwaite, but I'm pretty sure she can manage that. Reasonably certain she can manage that, yeah. Oh, god damn it, I forgot about Born Leader. Alright, so, Born Leader, every single time I run out of cards in hand, Canterford will draw cards equal to the number of people on her rank that still have stamina to burn. So, I'm going to have Hasselthwaite, who has some charge, steal Canterford's sword. Not quite make it. Not quite. Almost. Was not paying attention. That's not great. Yeah, it's fine. I'll live. Just have to complain about it for a while. Oops. There. You're gonna die from your bleed. You're not. Deal with you for right now. Okay. Again, I forgot. Okay. Calm. Calm down, XV. Stop clicking buttons quickly. Alright. I really do have 2 of those now, huh? Don't need this. Alright, so... Perfect. I'll take that refresh. Health weight is 4, and let's see. Discard 1 card if allied. That sounds horrible. I'm not taking Bulwark. Concentration is it's the most amount of active card draw in the game, but it also slaps you with Pacified, which I hate. Synergize I'm going to be taking. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take that Courage, then I'm going to go to the docks, and that's going to put the dock encounters over everything else. So the Voices in the Dark should still be there. They should still be there. Yennefer's getting an extra stamina. We hope. Okay, good, and there's nothing fun. There was nothing valuable underneath the... Alright, cool. Pale Stone I'll take. Pale Stone is going to be worth 1 free will for everybody in the party. So I won't need to add any further will to any of these guys. We can go stamina the rest of the game. Everyone is punching poor Hesselthwaite. Everyone is punching Hesselthwaite. What about you jerks? What do you have against Hesselthwaite? Okay, so... what do I have in my draw? Let's... So, this is actually... whose card is this? Oh, it's yours. Okay, good. Never mind. I was going to spend will on it. Alright, so let's... red powder. And we will stick that to an invigorating blow, so that we can have some health regen on Hesselthwaite. And here comes all of... Yikes. All right. Okay. Now, will this... Nope, it does not. So it didn't actually do any real damage because when... Alright, so this fucking net puts 30 stacks of net on top of you, and then you need to bust through the net before you can do any damage. These guys all have a shot of Overwhelm on them, so I'm trying to... I'm trying to trigger the invigorating blow so that I can get some health regeneration on Hesselthwaite. But it is not working as planned. This should blow through it though. Good. Doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm spinning something out. Well, not something. I'm spinning this out because I want to get some health regeneration on Hesselthwaite. So what I did was I threw improvise, pick any card from your draw pile, place at the top of the pile, so it's the next card I draw. I had already synergized red powder to invigorating blow, so by pulling red powder, I also got the invigorating blow up. So what I'm going to do is spin this out for just a little bit, and get some health regen. I think one more. Good. Okay. 37 out of 48 will have to do. And a reserves. Okay. We all get one will, which is what I wanted. Don't care about penitence. Angry Mob isn't going to help. Voices in the Dark is kind of exciting. So this is it's an elite combat that I haven't actually seen for a while. I believe that this one was added with the Powder Master, but I'm not sure. It might have been part of the base game. I'm honestly not certain. First of all, these are our blood druids, who, if you notice, their tunics appear to be filled with hair or possibly needles. Don't know. They're bleeding. They're bleeding from their hands, all of them. They're penitents, I guess, is what's happening here. They're gross. And they're awesome. I fucking love the way that everything in this game looks. They really, aren't they? Like, they look pretty badass. These guys, also, what's most important about this, first of all, this encounter is dangerous. These guys are going to throw around stupid amounts of bleed all over my guys, and then they're going to start dealing damage based on that bleed. They're also going to apply bleed to themselves, so this fight will be over quickly, one way or the other. What's important is what they're holding in their hand. We will get that sickle, and it is the highest single hand weapon damage in the game. It's 12, but it does come with a pretty significant downside. I'll show you when we get there. Hold on. So, red powder and rush. Fine. All right. So first of all, we're going to boot one of these guys the hell out of here, because I already have 6 bleed coming in. Ugh. Okay. No sense in moving him out of the way, because then it'll just land on Candiford instead. So I've got 6 bleed coming to Hasselthwaite. The more you look at these guys, the more details. The artwork in this game is phenomenal. I love the artwork in this game. Unabashedly, just straight up fanboy just for the artwork. Okay, so 5 bleed. All right, we're gonna be okay. So we're gonna start off with. You'll die to your bleed. Okay. Shit. Okay. That's a lot of bleed. Okay, hang on. So. Does anyone have... Okay, well, that means I know that I'm going to get that rondel. Okay, good. So what is... Jesus Christ. So this would be a pretty bad hit. 18 damage plus 2 bleed, but he's already going to die from that bleed. Which means, by the way, all this bleed that we have going around, I am going to try to aim for arterial rupture if I can manage it. I say things like, I'm going to aim for it, as though it's not fully luck as to whether or not it's ever available. Okay. Good. All right. None of these. I'll take that calculating strike. And as for equipment, here is what we are going to do. So, they drop two things. First of all, they drop Unholy, the armor set Unholy that gives the Unholy passive. So now all stacks of bleed. Candiford is just immune to bleed. Well done. Good job, Candiford. And we are going to drop that the Cruel Sickle on top. So Candiford now has an excellent main hand weapon. So Candiford is going to be doing our Akimbos. Desolin is now level 4. Give me something good. Give me something good. Holy shit, that's something good. Going for the Sever. Absolutely. Sever is so Sever deals vitality damage equal to half an opponent's max vitality. That is an attack, and it can be modified by red powder and pink powder. So one shot of red powder and one shot of pink powder equals that card deals 100% max vitality. It is potentially a one-hit kill. Okay, so first of all, let's give you great sword. Long sword is not so great. Remove that exquisite sword for you and have this as our backup. Superior medium. I think we're all set. This looks fine by me. This looks fine. Don't need really to offload anything at the moment, so let's just forge ahead. So, Candiford in the rear, both Candiford and Hasselthwaite will get max benefit out of Flurry, which is 2 stacks of weapon damage. Excuse me, 2 stacks, not of weapon damage. What are you saying? 2 stacks of Overwhelm. But I will be very, very heavily favoring Candiford for Akimbo, because Candiford's main weapon is 12. Candiford's weapon damage is 12. I'm doing a great job of just talking today, I know. Anything? Nope, nothing. Okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't sure if Board Leader had already triggered. Okay. $36 damage that card is now worth. Now, I am going to try... I'm going to want to have any effect I can that pulls banishes out of my banish heap, because I want this Sever to come back into my hand as often as I can possibly manage it. In the meantime, let me make a little bit of room. Okay, so... There we are! Whose is this? It is Desolin's. Okay, so... Okay, doing pretty good on damage. I'm going to take this Law of Exchange, because this Law of Exchange will permit me to pull a Banish out of my Banish heap. Alright, so we're going to go for the Black Market and then Caster the Hunter, and that crossbow is what Desolin will be carrying for the rest of the game. Okay, so hang on. Okay, so I'm going to put 10 florin gain on red powder because I imagine every time I cast Synergize, I'm going to be synergizing something to red powder. So every time red powder comes up, I want it to, I want it to give me some money. Let's see. This is next to useless currently. So I'm just going to put it on. I'm going to put it on this exquisite sword because, what the hell, why not? Now, as for this last one, -1 stamina cost, I have two choices that I'm looking at. One is akimbo, so that it's easier for me to cast akimbo, which currently, when thrown by Candiford, is worth 36 damage. Digging Deep, however, is my other option because it is cost 3 and then immediately regain 2 stamina. This would make this into functionally a zero cost card. So that's the one that I'm going to do. Make it a little bit easier to cast that. Ooh, okay. I done been ambushed. Okay. So first of all, 2 stacks of Overwhelm, and you just fall over. Also, just to point this out, Sever does vitality damage. It ignores armor. It does piercing damage. So, big important thing. Actually, I think I may have fucked myself by lowering the cost of Digging Deep because it is it's a 3 stamina card. And in order to pull things out, in order for Law of Exchange to pull things out of my banish heap, it needs to banish a 3 or more cost card, which I don't currently have. So I might want to change that around. It's obviously nothing I can do about it right now. Okay. All right. So. Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay, so Law of Exchange. Greatsword is also a 3 stamina card. I can pull Lore Master too. I'm gonna take the Sever though. And Sever belongs to Deslin, but they are wolves, so ooh. Oh no. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. This might be a terrible idea. I'm gonna take that arena. And then Caster should, if I do that though, and there's anything really valuable underneath it, Caster could make it go away. I'm not going to take the risk. Because I haven't seen the informant task for this street, and I don't want to risk accidentally losing it. I don't want to do that again. Okay. Well, first of all, excuse me. He's going to jump up behind me. Well, who are you hitting? Actually, pretty hard, too. Okay. Okay. So, I can't afford that one this round anyway, so screw it. There we go. Oh, let's just finish it, shall we? Good. Okay. All right, so, Deslin, your job is you hold the crossbow. Something. Oh, hey, I'll take another fucking sever. Absolutely, I will. That's crazy. And it wasn't anything good underneath it after all, but I've made my choices, and I'll live with them. Oh, hey, look, it's the shit mice. God, they look really fucking gross. I love how gross they look. They look really fucking gross. So what are you guys doing? Flying sepsis around? Alright, well, first of all, let's get you the fuck out of there, because I don't want to deal with that. That sounds like trash. The big deal with these guys is that you can't put any effects on them until they have taken at least 2 damage. That's their deal. Okay. All right, that'll do. This is the so now that I've got some levels, I've got some weapons, I've got some talents. This is where wolves begin to really shine. Their racial ability allows them to just, I mean, you can be a lot freer with how you are spending your stamina, because you don't need to worry about what if this particular card comes up. Having a wolf along is one additional opportunity to cast the correct card at the correct time. Oh, that was a waste. Okay, hang on. Card from on top of my draw pile. Let's pull that reload. None of these. Absolutely. Exquisite Sword is okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. So here's what's happening. I did not want to give up. I did not want to give up this, even though it's not really very useful currently. Or at all. And now I can throw this away? No? I'll hang on to it for a moment. Okay, so whenever you discard, spawn a flourish. Yeah, I know. Well, it's not that I couldn't switch weapons. It's that I can't take the the upgrade gem off of the weapon. That's my own fault. I knew that could potentially happen, and I mean, like the armor that I lost, I'm not too fussed about, and honestly, I could have lost the upgrade gem. I just didn't want to. So, who is this? This is Hesselthwaite, who is in the front. So I'm going to give, instead of giving them the wolf-only justice whenever you discard spawn a flourish. Do you have flow? Who has flow? You have flow. I'm torn between Brawler, which is excellent for a front row fighter, and Justice, which is wolf specific. I'm going to go with Brawler because I feel like I'm going to get a lot more value out of it moving in the long run. In the long run, and you cannot be too far behind on level 5, so let's keep going after the combats. Okay. Okay. I tried to be slick there and kill him through his armor, but I forgot that this guy has magnificent plate, so he cannot, in fact, take bleed while he has more than 60 armor. Let's see, you, that'll be it. Okay. I love the way that works. So let me explain what's happening here. So I have this card, Improvise. Pick any card from your draw pile and place at the top of the pile. And I also had one other effect that I used to yank a. Basically, I picked the next two cards that I was going to draw, and then because my hand was empty and Candiford has Born Leader, those two cards came right back into my hand. That's what's happening there. That's what happened. I think I can just kill you. Nope, I can't. All right. I was hoping I'd just be able to kill you. Okay. I don't think I need a second brace. I think I'm okay. Okay, well, that's just bananas. I really, really do want... I am going to do what I can. Do I want a second Law of Exchange? I don't want a second Law of Exchange. I do want to take this Deep Strike, though. Okay. Fingers crossed. Actually, I don't know how much crossed my fingers need to be. I feel like Wolves' strength is in their spectacular talents, not so much in their passives. Although I will fucking take that there, Gambler, absolutely. Yes, I goddamn will. but that's not wolf specific. So what I'm learning is rabbits have one truly god tier talent, and a couple of okay talents, and a lot of shitty talents. But all of their passives, all of their racial specific passives are phenomenal, including two that are potentially just game winning by themselves. Excuse me. Weasels have some very strong passives, but overall their talents are a little lackluster. Bears and beavers, I'm going to sit aside for the purposes of this discussion because I don't think I've spent enough time with either of them. I use bears somewhat sparingly. I don't take a lot of their talents, and I don't like a lot of their passives because a lot of their passives have to do with your guys getting killed. Um, and beavers, their talents and passives tend to revolve around defense. Wolves seem to have kind of, I mean, their passives don't seem to be, they're not bad by any means, but they're not super exciting. Whereas their talents are some of the best in the game. And I think mice have amazing talents and also really, really strong passives. I think that's the reason why they ultimately end up being as strong as they feel. Because it's you get a lot of value out of, like, no matter what it is you're doing with them, you get a lot of value out of mice. Oh, I should have done that one first. It doesn't matter. They are particularly very reliable. Mice are particularly very reliable because even, I mean, like, they don't have a lot of talents that you hate seeing. They have quite a few talents that you love seeing. Okay. Ramble, ramble, babble, babble. Okay. So, again, very, very, very strong card. Improvise. Pick any card from your draw pile, place at the top of your pile, and then just play anything that draws cards. Okay. Oh, god damn it. The only reliable way to get injuries that I am aware of. So the question that I'm answering, in case you can't see it on your screen if you're watching this recording, is there any reliable way of getting injuries into your deck? And the answer is, the only one that I know of that is a truly reliable way of making sure that the ruin that you add is injury is by having Iris with you. Iris is guaranteed, if you take the spirit, Iris is guaranteed to load her deck with injuries, but she's the only one that you can guarantee this will happen. I know exactly what you're talking about. Having that unholy, the injuries just become like injury ruin just becomes basically a big health potion, and it's a big health potion too. But unfortunately, there is no way of guaranteeing that's the card you're definitely going to get. That's the injury you're definitely going to get. Considering that field dressing, I don't think I need it though. And none of these really. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take that heavy shield. The reason why I'm going to take that heavy shield is specifically so that I have another 3 stamina card to banish with Laws of Exchange. Okay, so am I unhappy with any of my talents? I like your talents. I like your talents. I like your talents. Okay, so we're going to ignore Stroke of Genius. We're going to go to the Innkeeper. Innkeeper allows you to do a couple of different things, and all the things that it lets you do are pretty good. You can recruit a party member, you can heal each party member, or you can view a bunch of armors for some reason. We are going to see if there's anyone worth recruiting. And unlike the League, this recruitment event is the same as the end of stage recruitment event, where their level is based on the average of your party's level. Malkin, Roofersmont, we're just going to take a look. Taste for Blood is actually very, very good. As far as I'm going to do, the next one I do is probably going to be nothing but weasels. Because usually when I do weasels, I lean into a pump weasel build, and pump weasel doesn't do very well against the prince. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say pump weasel, just imagine the dumbest possible thing I could be talking about, and that's correct. Let's see. Good axe too, and I'm not a big fan of corrosive. So the purpose of corrosive enamel, by the way, is they can throw. Weasels can throw some retaliate on their own teammate. Deal 15 damage to any character, including your own characters. If they have any armor left, apply 10 retaliation. So it's risk versus reward, where the reward isn't that great. Hey, look at that, an arterial rupture. I would love that arterial rupture because I've got a lot of bleed. And okay, assassin. Whenever you draw a concealed blade, transform it into a poisoned blade. That is a very interesting. It's a very interesting passive, although it does have negative synergy with the rest of Weasel, because Weasel has other things that rely on you being able to spawn concealed blades. Every concealed blade that is spawned turns into a poisoned blade instead, which is a different card. So if you have a Weasel that has Sharp, and any of your Weasels pick up Assassin, Sharp turns off. You no longer get any value out of Sharp at all. Just keep that in mind. This is a great Weasel. This is a truly, truly great Weasel. I like, honestly, everything that these that Tomas Irwin. Are your faces different? Are your faces different? Can't quite tell because they're not right next to each other, but I think Malkin and Tomas are both male names. And this is Lara Rentford. What does male beaver look like? I cannot believe that I've been playing this game for years and I literally never realized. Okay. So. God damn. So, I could add skills. I don't need to add a talent, but the talents, I'm going to take the talent because it's all three of these talents are very strong. Serenity, I don't particularly care for too much, but it is still pretty strong. Copycat is much better than I would ever have given it credit for. It's especially good with rabbits, who have the ability to move around and make sure that they are immediately across. When enemies in the same lane as you gain armor or strength, you gain the same amount. That's pretty strong, especially against halberdiers or various boss characters who suddenly put on huge amounts of either. We are going to go Rivalry, and we're going to go Rivalry, and I'm going to do Synergize. I'm going to do it Synergize because Synergize is the most expensive thing. It's too late. I've already done it. I don't know if that was the correct choice. I did not want to get rid of anything else that I had. It's the choice I've made. It's the choice I'm going forward with. So we're going to do Crypt and then the Prisoners. It's worth a shot. I want to point something out. We are now in the second street hitting the Crypt. Please pay attention. The encounter is different. Now, if you have been paying attention, I have to pay attention to this. So if you haven't been paying attention, this encounter, which again, if you can run into it as early as the beginning of Street 1, when you aren't even level 2 yet, at which time it will be almost definitely lethal, and you still have to take it. You still have to take it, because the reward is just that good. There are 3 of these guys, 3 militants, 1, 2, 3, one here, one here, one here, and these 2 guys are instead rabbits that move you around and load you up with shit tons of cripple. Instead, it's 2 tormentors who you notice have very high health, and whenever a ruin card is drawn, applies 3 panic to a random opponent. That's specifically bad against Iris. Against not Iris, it's not that big of a deal. Although they do make it a point of trying to fill up your deck with ruins so that they can have something to work on. I'm going to start with... We're going to move you the hell out of the way. Just not deal with that bleed. Get that akimbo back. I think this should just kill you. Yeah, good. Okay. What are they doing this time? They are going to shuffle 2 torments into my draw pile and a flashback into my discard pile. Flashback spawns a wraith. Torment just gives everybody takes damage. They suck, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad. They could be worse. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to boot this guy to the rear and not give him the option of doing that. And then we're just going to fucking kill him. We're not going to fuck around. We're just going to fucking kill him. Oops. Almost. Not quite. Almost. Oh, what am I doing? Just kill him. Don't need any of these. Ancient Amulet. Okay. Major increase in that is adding Ancient Amulet. And I like the fact that you can let me try that again. You can rely on seeing the crypt. It does not always appear. 1 second. Okay. All right. You can rely on seeing Ancient Amulet. It is going to come up. Which is very, very nice of it, frankly. Give me a moment. Hold on. Okay. It's a lot of bleed. Nothing. Fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Fucking bleeds. Goddamn. None of these. Okay. Second combat. Excuse me. Draw. Man, really? Okay. Nope. Nope. Maybe you. Sure. I am really, really badly wanting to... Yeah, okay. So I'm going to spin this out just a little bit. I'm going to get you down to basically nothing. And then we're going to chill for a second while Desolin gets some health back. Still going to chill for a second while Desolin gets some health back. Alright, we're all set. I'm good. Okay, so... Fingers crossed, big money, no whammies. Yeah, okay, cool. Yes, yes, yes. Honestly, yes. Let's see. Hold on one second. You're pretty good on health regeneration. I don't need stoic for you, but I will take patient because chances of you having a will to spare are pretty high, and that means it's just an extra card draw. I'm going to take that Relic Knight. I'm going to take that Relic Knight. I'm not going to take it right away, but I'm going to take that Relic Knight, and we are going to... Shit. Am I going to take the Relic Knight? I'm going to take the Relic Knight. So, Relic Knight, one of the rewards for that is Strange Mist, which is it's health. It's just health, but it replaces one of my existing talents. And I like my talents. I like my talents the way that they are. And remember, I am not going to be using weapon cards because there's a line of knife throwers in the back, so I am not using weapon cards unless I know for a fact I'm going to be okay, I guess. Who are we hitting? We'll start with this guy. One, 5, 1 damage. Okay. Remember what I just said about not using weapon cards? I'm going to use one weapon card. Just one. Let's get that Invigorating Blow back into my hand next round. Move it along. Okay. It's a lot of weapon cards you got there. Let's get rid of all of them, shall we? Okay. Should be fine. Should be fine. Knife throwers only attack the. They only attack straight ahead. They do not and will not ever attack anyone else other than whoever is immediately in front of them. Each of the frontmost opponents. Okay, good. Just making sure that I'm not lying to you. That almost kill you? That almost kill you. Good, you're dead. Alright, so... I am deliberately playing this weapon card so that I can get that in hand from the Born Leader. Okay. What are you doing? Nothing? Okay. The reason why that happened is because I'll show you in a second. See, this guy has Protector. The character directly behind this one always has Protected, which means he takes up to 25 damage on behalf of the Knife Thrower. So that Knife Thrower would have been Mordored. Like that. All set. Okay. Relic Knight, then I'm going to take that guarded transport. That mustache is so good. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to... I'm going to focus on fucking up the back row as much as I possibly can. Let's see. Good. Good. It's so goddamn good. Like I'm constantly... I've been playing this game for years now, and I'm still constantly blown away by just how good the artwork actually is. It is such a goddamn shame. Oh, this is going to be a lot of damage coming in. I don't like that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Candiford the hell out of the way, because all of these guys are going to be hitting the back rank. Oh, I guess not. All right then. I guess they didn't like Candiford. Okay, well, I'm just going to murder all of you. I hope you feel clever. Jesus. Okay, I'm taking way too much damage. I need to be a lot more careful. Not enough time. I'll take that instinct. Good. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to take this Never Surrender. And that also means I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be turning into Strange Mist. I don't know what I'm going to be turning into Strange Mist. Strength of Will I really like. I like having 2 Severs. I love this Improvise. Improvise is probably the one that I'm going to... Maybe Never Surrender. Yep, it'll have to be Never Surrender. Even though it gives me back Will, it's the only one that I... What was Instinct? Instinct. What did I just get rid of? It's okay. The one that I just got rid of was honestly, it's one of their better talents. It is so the one that I picked up and then immediately got rid of was you can give 15 armor to any other party member, including yourself, and also gain 1 will. The gain 1 will is really the reason why that's very important. But I'm not hurting for will, so I'm not too hard up on getting rid of it. What I want to have is this strange mist. Restore 12 vitality and remove bleed and poison from each character in your rank. It does cost will, but it's a health potion, and I need that. I'm going to take this guarded transport. Okay. So first of all, okay, it's a good start. Okay, and because I have Ancient Amulet, these very valuable cards will not. Well, these two valuable cards will not drop out of my hand. Desolin, no! Improvise I am keeping, and I'm glad that I kept it, but it's a strange mist. There, Jesus. Huh. Okay, you are going to... Wow, these guys are going to hurt. This one is going to... this one is going to get soaked by the anticipation. This one is going to hit Deslin very hard, so we're going to do something about that right now. Okay, good. Oh, damn it. Wrong button. Wrong card. Okay, who needs Hasselford? Hasselthwaite would absolutely love to have some health back, please. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing okay. I've taken a lot of damage, and I'm not thrilled about it. But I think I should be okay. Double team, finally. Good lord. None of these. All right, Desolin, show them what you got. None of these. Actually, none of these, really. Baptism of Fire. Okay. I'll take Baptism of Fire. It is normally a card that I do not take. I'll show you what it is. 1 second. This is normally a card that I do not take, Baptism of Fire. Discard up to 1 card. Convert an ally's bleed to restoration. If I discard it, twice as much restoration. I usually don't take this because it's very, very situational, and I can't guarantee that it's going to be in my hand just when I need it. But I have Ancient Amulet, which means the chances of it being in my hand just when I need it are very high. So it is potentially a get out of death free card. All right, I've got 2 Tresselforts. 2 Tresselforts. I've got 2 Wolves, a Tresselfort and a Durwater. Not a terrible rabbit. Under normal circumstances, I might take you, but we are not under normal circumstances. So, no, not taking this one. Sorry, Maria. It's going to be a pass from me. I do like Sadist, and I do like Sadist's Cunning, but they're not really all that... They're not the best. They're not what I'm really looking for right at this time. And as for this, I'm not really looking for any of this either. I don't really care about this too much. Give me a moment. Strikes and guards are doubly effective when played by this character that's not super exciting. I do like sadist. I like sadist. I'm not super interested in sadist cunning because it's for each status effect on target opponent, so it's not that much. Babbling to myself. Give me a moment. I like that throwing daggers, but I don't have a lot of. So I've got calculating strike, and I've got quick hand. So I've got a total of 5 preparation that I can have. Sometimes. 1 second. I don't like Bulwark at all. I don't like Bulwark at all. Okay, Maria. I'm going to go with you. Hang on a second. You have... I need a better main hand weapon. That's ridiculous. Okay, so hang on 1 second. Combat positions: Trestleford, Desolin, Candiford, Hasselthwaite. Hasselthwaite in the front, with the good armor, and the Lore Master. Okay. It's Blister, everybody. Blister ain't shit. Okay. So... Okay. Again, Ender Bannerman, demoralize. He's going to banish the first thing that I play. So I'm just considering what I'm going to be playing first. What am I okay with having banished? And I think it's probably just going to be the spear is the only thing I can think of that I'm totally okay with being banished. Sorry, big fella. Okay. 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 Excuse me. You? Yes. And who's not doing great on health? Hasselthwaite could use some regeneration. Well, he could use some regeneration. She's not going to get any regeneration because they're just going to die. That was rude of them. Okay, I'm going to take a second double team now that I have all of these wolves. Let's see. I would prefer... Well, okay. Do this for right now. And I'm going to keep the superior medium in reserve. To explain what is going on in my brain right now, Steadfast is one of the better armors for the later parts of the game. It does not have any downside, and it's just passive armor regeneration. Just every round, it's an extra 8 armor. It's not necessarily the best for my front line, and I don't have a huge amount of armor generation otherwise. I guess. Hang on. So just 6, almost 6. Just turned 5. Okay. I'll take a Solemn Vow. Absolutely, I will. Solemn Vow, move 1 card from my banish pile to my hand, and then banish itself. We're not going to that augur. That augur can go fuck himself. We're anything that is we are taking a very biblical stance on fortune tellers and witches and so on. They are unclean. They hate us, and we hate them. I did not mean to do this. I wanted to sell. I wanted to get rid of one of my skills, but I clicked incorrectly, I guess. So, moving forward. All right. Ooh, mentor. Yes. Hey, mentor. So, I've got this red powder and I'd like 2 of them. Thank you. All right. Ouch. Okay. I'm going to need to move Canterford probably to be right behind Hesselthwaite. It does not. It does not. It just copies the card itself. It's a good question, and it would be nice, but it would also be kind of broken if it did, because there are some upgrade gems that are just crazy strong. Hang on. Okay. Let's get 2 lore masters, shall we? Good. That's a decent start. Okay. Whoop. Nope! Damn it! Ugh. Fucking fat finger absolutely everything. Why don't I? Alright, so, wow! 40 damage coming in on my top row. Canterford will soak one of them with the anticipation. So let's do something about this now, shall we? Farts. Balls. Okay, well, that took a lot of very valuable cards that I just sort of threw around without thinking about it. That's okay, though, because I want to show you a thing as soon as it comes back up. So, it's time to admit something that I know. You see this card, Solemn Vow? This card, Solemn Vow, and I don't talk about this because it is bugged. This card is bugged. I have known this card is bugged. I have tried to avoid taking this card, but I have too many banished abilities. So I took it, and I took it knowing that it is bugged. Solemn Vow does not work as intended. Allow me to show you. So, Solemn Vow. Let's draw Sever. Did you see that? Did you notice what just happened? I'll show. Let me zoom in a little bit. Under Banish, do you notice Solemn Vow? You don't, do you? Let's take a look into our discard. Uh-oh! Solemn Vow is a card that is legitimately broken. I have tried to avoid taking it on runs. I can't avoid taking it on this run because I have too many high-value banishable cards. This clearly was not the way this card was intended. This card is supposed to pull back one banished card, and then it is supposed to banish itself. It doesn't. It just pulls a card out of your banish pile, and then it discards, like any other card. I do not consider this card when I am talking about their relative ability, because I feel like any day now they're going to notice this and patch it. They haven't noticed yet. Solemn Vow is legitimately broken. It is broken in a way that is not intended. This is not like Opportunist, where Opportunist is suddenly turning various cards into 60 damage nukes. That is intended. This is not. This is a card that is actually legitimately broken, and using it like this kind of feels like we're exploiting the game, because we are. So, now you know the dark secret of Solemn Vow. If you see this card, you should take this card. I can't tell you not to. You should take this card if you see it. It is massively overpowered in a manner that is legitimately broken, because this card is bugged. That's not the way this card is supposed to. It's not the way the card is supposed to work. I have avoided talking about it for long enough. It's your game. You can play it however you see fit. And I have no room to. I very obviously have no room to judge you if you want to use a broken card, because I've literally just added it to my deck, and I am going to be using it in the manner that is basically just exploiting. Just straight up exploitative. Oops. So if you want to use this card for that reason, you should. It's your game. You are the only person who gets to tell you how to play it. And I have tried to keep it a secret for long enough. The secret is out. Solemn Vow is actually broken. It is actually broken. It is actually broken to the point where I kind of want to re-roll it, because it really is not. It's not intended. This is not what this card is supposed to have done. But it is in the game. It is in the game. So, if it's in the game, that means it's an option. And if it's an option, you should be aware that that option is available to you. You can, in fact, break this game by picking up a card that works in a manner that is contrary to its original stated intention. Because that card clearly is supposed to banish itself, and it doesn't. Make of that what you will. Do with that whatever you want. Because I certainly will. No, for real. I am absolutely going to be using that card in a manner that is just straight up degenerate. Like I'm going to be using it to just break this game over my knee. I'm probably not going to make any mention of it in the. I'm probably not going to make any mention of it in the title, either. Let's see. Take a reserves. Why not? You. I'll be honest, there's a big part of me that is a little ashamed to have taken that card as it is. It feels like cheating. Because I know that card is broken, and that is the reason why I picked it up. But again, continuing to heap justification on top of justification. It's your game. You have a right to know what is. You have a right to know what's available in it. You have a right to know that if if you're bringing wolves and you see Solemn Vow, if you take that card along, any card that you banish, you will be able to get back. Basically, it will. I am glad that I got rid of Synergize, because I know for a fact I would have ended up synergizing that card to something. And it would have been... It would have been a little unbalanced. Alright, so hang on. You okay, kids?
Oh, hey. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm compromising my morals. I know.
By using a card I know to be broken. I know. Daddy's a bad person. But that's okay, because, I mean, Daddy knows he's a bad person. Have you noticed what what I did to that shopkeeper every time I see him? I just take all of his fucking money and then I just walk. I take his money and then I walk away. I mean, like, I am a bad person. Gambler is another one that allows you to reroll talents, and I am still very tempted to do that but it is part of the game, so I guess I'm just going to demonstrate. How to break this game using actually bugged talents. Hang on one second. Let's get that reserves back into our hand. Okay, that'll be good. That will do. Okay. Oh, wrong one. You okay, buddy? Yeah, I know. I don't feel good about it either. What do you think I should do, Smudge? If you may not notice, I've been keenly aware of this entire time. You may not have noticed this, but one of the first options, God damn it, one of the first options for talents that we had, that card, what the hell is it called? Solemn Vow? Solemn Vow? Is it Solemn Vow? Where are you? Strength of Will, Solemn Vow. This was available then, and I mentioned it, but I did not actually take it. I also, at the time, I didn't really have anything worth using it on. I did not have any banishables. But I guess we're going to demonstrate exactly what it looks like when you knowingly break this game with... Where the hell are you? Ah, hell, whatever. Oh, for God's sake! Ah, I made a mistake. So basically what I did there was nothing. I did nothing. I'm allowing myself to get all over dramatical over having that card in my deck. I don't feel I'm not kidding. I actually legitimately don't feel right about having it in my deck, but I've got it and I'm going to use it because for the 5th time, you have a right to know that it's there. You have a right to know that this is the way that this card works. You have a right to choose for yourself whether or not you want to exploit it. This one, right here, Solemn Vow. Let's get a second rivalry, shall we? Let's put that rivalry onto you, shall we? Look, Solemn Vow in my hand again. So let's use that and get another rivalry. And let's put that rivalry on Trestleford down here. You see what I'm getting at? Like this does actually feel a little dirty, more than a little. This feels dirty. This is not the way. This is not working as intended. Okay. None of these. Oathkeeper? Yeah, okay, Oathkeeper. No sense in picking up Diversion. I have other cards that, I mean, I've got a Solemn Vow. I don't need it. Really don't need most of the rest of this stuff either. We're going to go with the Knife Throwers first because I like their armor. Also, Hasselthwaite really, really needs a better main hand weapon. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of weapons, we will not be using weapon cards. Once again, we will not use any weapon card. Oathkeeper is it is the only talent in the game that has actually been nerfed. Deal 6 damage and apply 2 vulnerable. The next 4 times this card is played each combat, damage increases by 2 permanently. The bit where it says the next 4 times this card is played, that is new. This used to just you used to be able to just cycle this through and cycle it through forever and ever and ever. Just keep on bringing it back into your hand, synergize it with a barrage, and keep on yo-yoing it back into your hand until this becomes a ridiculously overpowered nuke. $54. Improvise. And we will improvise up a Solemn Vow, shall we? Hey, look, it's Solemn Vow. Let's get that reserves back in hand. I feel really, I don't feel right about this. How much damage incoming? 10 damage? Ooh, and 15. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I will not be using weapon cards. I will not. Banish a weapon card to make sure I don't use it. Nope. No weapon cards. That's a weapon card. Fuck. let's ruin a weapon card so we don't use it. See, this is working as intended. That is the way that is supposed to work. Oh, God, weapon card. Stupid. Okay. So, first of all, second of all, tired of having this. I'm tired of seeing this axe come up. Okay. Okay. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. So the incense is worth 10 max vitality for everybody. Guarded transport is $600 and an elite fight. The escape I need to go to. So halfway to 7, nearly to 7, just turned 6, halfway to 7. Okay. I'm not super close to the next level up. The question is always going to be, if I take the incense or the guarded transport, is there going to be something valuable underneath, like a Kilderkin, that I... Will there be? Probably not, frankly. I'm going to go for the incense and then the escape. Where I am currently, I don't really think there's anything that's underneath here that could really be, more valuable. The task force will not supersede the escape event. I will still be able to use it. I will still be able to go, I mean. Back row is most dangerous. Actually, this whole thing is crazy dangerous. Look at this. Shit, man. Okay. Alright. Oh, I hit the wrong card. Oh, I should have been doing that this whole time. Stupid. I forgot that was in my... Okay. Alright, so let's just have you ignore entirely. Yeah, okay, good. I'm sorry. I apologize. I am a little distracted. Okay. So... Alright. Oh, hey, look at that. Good. All right, that's enough of that. I'm still thinking, honestly, okay, so what's going on in my head right now is I am strongly considering whether or not I should remove the card I know to be fully broken from my deck. I'm wondering how badly tainted is this run by adding it in, or by simply using it. There are other ways. There are fully legitimate ways that I can break this game, and that is also a way that I can break this game. It is, you can break the game by through clever exploitation of mechanics that play well together, or you can get that card. None of these. I'm taking that halberd over there. The reason why this there is just to have something to banish for a vow of whatever the hell. My next opportunity, if I have another opportunity to reroll a talent, I will reroll that talent. And until that happens, I will continue to exploit it. I talk a good game. I'm going to do my best to convince you that I truly do care about integrity in this run. But at the same time, also, I mean, like, that prince burned down our house. He really does suck. I mean, like, he really sucks. He really sucks. Okay. Enough. Moving on. No. Okay. Again, I am going to say that now that you are aware that this card does work that way, if you choose that you want to seek out that card and use it in a manner that is clearly not what Monte Barrow intended, it is your game. It is up to you. No one is going to judge you for it. My ridiculous over moralizing nonsense about whether or not this impacts the integrity of my game, that's just because I am who I am, frankly. Are you gonna give me some bleed? You better not give me some fucking bleed, you goddamn bear. I'm very mad at you. Whoops. Oh. Oh my god, have I been tossing my chains this entire time? I forgot where I was. Unbelievable. XV. Unbelievable. Really need that sever quite so much. What I need is the stupid... How many of these have I seen already? Oh, God. So several. I've seen several, and I've ignored them completely. Well done. Okay. Good. Excellent. This is what happens when XV starts moralizing and just getting obsessed over the ethics of something. So I have. All right. So I have. My wife's hobby is small pet care. So we have a room in our house that is just. It's mostly gerbils. It's mostly gerbils. We have a lot of gerbils in that room, and they live like their standard of living is substantially higher than ours. They live they live just an exceptionally good life. I envy them a lot, and it's really cool, going in anyway. So while we were, I don't remember what it was that we were doing. We had to. God damn it! Hold on. Okay, enough preamble. So I have a Roborovsky hamster named Mishka, and she is my hamster. I have not had small pets since I was a little kid, and little kids should not have small pets. It bothers me every time I go into like a PetSmart or wherever, and it says beginner underneath literally any animal. No animal is beginner. There's no such thing as an animal that is good for beginners. They are living things that are capable of fear and suffering. And for that reason, handing them to our children is kind of cruel, man. Like, I did my best, but I had no idea what I was doing. And I feel like I feel like I caused suffering to small animals inadvertently, trying to care for them, not really knowing what the hell I was doing. So Roborovsky hamsters do not. Hold on 1 second. It's going to be a bunch of level ups. That's the whole team leveling up. Roborovsky hamsters don't really like to be handled. They don't like people so much. They're very small. They're fucking adorable. They are crazy adorable. But also, they don't like to be handled. They are very skittish little things. I'm sure that given enough time and attention that, they can get over this. But as I was standing, my wife was picking up something for her gerbils, and as I'm watching this adorable little thing run around and play in some hay, and every time she noticed that I was there, she dove for cover, and it occurred to me that at some point, some little kid is going to come into this pet store and become fully enamored with how fucking adorable this tiny thing is, and ask to have this animal as a pet. And then what happens when they get that animal home and the animal does not want to interact with them? Will that animal live a life of suffering because of the word beginner underneath its name? I have room for this hamster. I can take her home, and I know how to take care of her now. I can give her a very large enclosure, and at the very least, I can ensure that she will have a good life. But also, it's a pet store. If I'm buying a rodent from a pet store, am I not just signaling to the industry that churns out small animals that say the word beginner underneath their cages? Am I just signaling to them that it is profitable to continue to churn out these animals that are capable of fear and suffering, and just basically feed into a machine that keeps suffering in the world, that keeps generating animals for no reason other than to sit around in their own filth in a tiny little cage in a pet store and eventually suffer? I can't save all of them. By buying just one, I cannot possibly save all of them, and I might actually be making it worse for other hamsters in the future. The long and the short, basically, I'm just trying to illustrate exactly how easy it is for me to just spiral away into fucking nothing in worrying about ethics in the real world. And the end of the long and the short of it is, the end of it was that I can't save all of them. And by purchasing her, I may be signaling to a machine that keeps on generating tiny little adorable things that are capable of suffering, who may suffer, but that doesn't matter to Mishka. What is real, what is what is real, what cannot be argued, is that she exists. There's a lot of hypotheticals surrounding her. There's a lot of, well, what if? Yes, but what is true, what can be, what is tangible is she is real. She is capable of suffering right now. I can't save all of them, but I can save this one. I have reduced the amount of suffering in the world by exactly one Roborovsky hamster. I don't think I'm a good person for having done this, but I don't think I'm a good person for having done this. She's very, very cute, and she doesn't trust me at all. I've done everything I can to give her the best possible life, and I've given her so many hides, so she does not need to even look at me if she doesn't want to. When I walk into the room, she dives for cover in one of her many, 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 many wooden structures, and that's good. She doesn't need to trust me. That's not the reason why I adopted her. A second born leader. Anyway, sorry about all that. I don't know what the purpose of honorable is. Whenever you break an opponent's armor, apply one armor to that opponent. There are a couple of effects that give you bonuses upon breaking armor, but like I don't really know what this one is for. And impervious, honestly, is the impervious is the best one that I could possibly have for him. He is in the front row. She is in the front row. So, another impervious. Whenever I discard, spawn a flourish. Nope, I'm going to go with another impervious. Okay, cutthroat. I'll take it. Whenever this character plays a weapon card, spawn a flourish to your hand. They really want me to have flourishes. Flourishes are banishable cards that deal 3/3 damage. They banish, which works well with. There's a couple of one of the wolf passives is I think graveyard or something. When you get up to a certain number of banished cards, it automatically spawns a never forget into your hand, which is great. Anyway. I'm not kidding either. I had an actual existential crisis in the middle of a parking lot over a fucking hamster as to whether or not, I mean, like, small children should not have pets. They should have pets. They should not have small pets. They should have pets that are actually, the parents can help them with. Giving a small animal to a child is not a great idea, because that child has no idea what the fuck they're doing, and that small thing is going to be, their life is going to be fully dependent on how well that child is, how good that child is at figuring out what they're supposed to be doing in order to care for a living thing. I'm going to stop talking about that. I apologize for going off on that for as long as I did. And I have really not been making great use of Oathkeeper. Excuse me. Okay. I'm just going to rid myself of the temptation for right now, at the very least. Oop, wrong fucking one. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'll pay closer attention. Okay, one moment, please. Her name is Mishka because she's a tiny, tiny bear. She is easily the single most adorable thing I have ever seen in my entire life. She looks like God piped this tiny little blob, this little furry, almost completely round thing with this tiny little face and tiny little ears. She has exactly 2 speeds, cautiously creeping and literally capable of teleportation. I get to see both of them whenever because I have these like organic Cheerios that have no sugar or any extra anything that she fucking loses her shit over. So I hold out this tiny little Cheerio for her, and she will creep up to take the Cheerio from my hand. And as soon as the Cheerio is out of my fingers, she misty steps the fuck away and just vanishes. She's awesome. I really, really love her. She's ridiculously, almost impossibly adorable, and no one has ever told her this in a language that she understands. She doesn't realize how fucking cute she is. To her, the whole of the world is deadly serious and everything is out to get her. She does not trust me at all, and that's fine, because that's not the reason why I adopted her. Okay, 1 second. All right. Fucking net. Anyway, the whole reason why I started talking about that was to explain the reason why I get so weird and obsessive over ethics. And I understand that I haven't actually answered that question, why I get weird and obsessive over ethics. I don't fucking know. In my last recording, in case, I mean, like, in my last recording, I started referring to, there's one of the people who comments on almost all of the runs that I put up is a guy named Klaatu PA, and I started to, like, last recording on just Thursday, like 2 days ago, I started like just I started to talk directly to him, and then I got sidetracked and fully forgot that I was talking about anything for over an hour before I suddenly remembered. I wasn't even high. Just so we're clear. Anyway, moving on. That was a mean trick. Let's. Okay. None of these. These, however, very yes. So these banish anyway. They're excellent for mice with opportunist and wolves. Excuse me. Okay. Was mean. Alright. Where are all my guys? Totally lost track of where everyone was. Okay. You'll die from the bleed. You'll just die. And okay. We're all set. We're all set. I'll take another double team, actually. It was expensive. $500. Jeez, inflation. Shit, man. I have a close friend named Zen Loser who believes very strongly that it is not possible for human beings to be truly altruistic, because the only reason why we do altruistic things, he says, is because it makes us feel better. Therefore, your motives for doing the altruistic thing are tainted from the beginning, and therefore, if you're only doing this to feel better about yourself, to make yourself feel better, then did what you did actually even still a good thing? And my response to that has always been that you're right, but also it doesn't matter, because it doesn't change the fact that someone was helped. The reason why I adopted Mishka may have been because I feel incredibly guilty about the gerbils that I had when I was a child. I did my very best with them. Their cage was too small. They didn't have enough things to play with. I know this now, looking back at from when I was a kid. But at the time, at the time I didn't know any better. I didn't know that there was any better. So I adopted Mishka specifically to probably specifically to in some way make myself feel less guilty for my gerbils, for my guinea pig. But it does not change the fact. It does not change the fact that Mishka has a good life and doesn't need to worry about anything. Not like she doesn't need to worry about anything. She's a good girl. I keep on saying that I'll stop talking about this, but I will actually stop talking about this. Nobody needs to listen to fucking... No one needs to listen to some middle-aged guy ramble on forever about ethics or morality. Anyway, moving along. Okay. We are, for the most part, basically just cruising through. We are nearly at the end of the game, and we're doing very, very well. We're doing very well, frankly. And while I am using something that is clearly not working as intended, it's not nearly as ludicrously broken as or degenerate as having two eccentrics on rabbits with lots and lots of practice maneuver. Okay. Hold on. So here's what I'm going to do. A lot of money. We're going to go to the Master Blacksmith. So Master Blacksmith is a colossally expensive event. Here are the things I can do. I can craft a copy of any weapon in my party or stash, excluding hero weapons. By hero, they don't mean hunter. They mean heroes. They mean the specific weapons that are glued into the hands of Iris, Moonstone, and the Powder Master. Reduce the cost of a weapon. Let's see what weapons we've got. I could duplicate Caster's crossbow, and I could stick it into Tresselford's hand, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this and make a copy of it. Hot fucking damn. Look at that. And I don't need 2 of these nuts. Let's see what kind of scruples we actually have. And the answer is we've got quite a few scruples, as long as there's no shopkeepers that we can steal $250 off of. If there's shopkeepers involved, all bets are off. I am referring to a very specific event called the Shopkeeper, where you could just steal money from a guy and run away. And that is actually objectively the correct choice. Just steal the money from him and run the fuck away. Yeah. Okay, so real talk about Solemn Vow. I'm going to stop bitching about it. I'm going to stop talking about it. I've said everything about it that I'm going to say. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to use a card that I am presenting to you as being broken to the point of exploitative. That being said, you don't need more than one of them. There's really no reason to have more than one of them, frankly. Look at all of my weapon damage. Hot damn, look at all of my weapon damage. I have a lot of weapon damage. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about the prince. We'll take the money off the off-duty guards. So how are we doing in terms of level? Almost 8. Not gonna make it. At the very least, we can get Hasselthwaite up to 8. We definitely can. All right. I've shown you what this card does. I've shown you how valuable it is, and I'm not going to bring it with me. It is actually legitimately broken, and I want to be able to beat the prince on my own terms. I want to point out that what I've just done has been to massively handicap myself over ethics. You don't need to do that yourself. When you find that card, nobody needs to know. You don't need to talk about it. You could just use it and break your own game easily and get yourself some easy wins. If you want. It is entirely up to you. That's the choice that I've made, and I'm going to live with it. To be clear, I have removed that card from my deck. And I immediately regret it. Because it's so fucking good. But I would have felt weird if I hadn't. When I break the game, I like to break this game through clever use of exploiting mechanics instead of, exploiting mechanics that I know are broken. Okay. start work on this guy up here. I do feel much better now, actually. I feel a lot better having done that. Okay. Good. No, we're going to keep all of them. Okay. Just fucking wreck some people in the face, shall we? All right. Who are you doing? What are you doing? This... Shit, man. Okay, so that's 8 hits coming in on Hasselthwaite. It's going to be a shit ton... It's going to be a shit ton of poison, but Hasselthwaite is doing really, really well on armor, so I'm not concerned. Excuse me. Okay. Now, move you back over here. Ah, damn it. Nah, whatever. Well, I moved him back over there so that I could get full benefit from double team. I say that may not have been the best. So let's just kill you, shall we? All right, go. Two casters' crossbows is a little silly. My wife owns a shop, and at her shop she has shop pets, and her shop pets are a pair of gerbils, and the gerbils in her shop are some of the best cared for animals I've ever seen in my life. They're so happy. They're so well adjusted. They love people. They're still rodents, so they still scatter if you make a sudden move. But they come out. They watch everyone come into the shop, and and Esther, excuse me, my wife's name is Esther. My wife will occasionally tell me these horrible stories because when you own a shop, when you're in a retail space and you have shop pets, and those shop pets are small animals, do you know what fucking happens? Is everybody tells you stories that they clearly think are very, very funny about how, oh yeah, I used to have gerbils, and then, yeah, no, I actually sucked one up with the vacuum cleaner. Yeah, no, I kicked it right down the stairs completely by mistake. It was hilarious. It screamed. Like, every single goddamn day, people come in and they tell my wife these horrifying stories of how they have accidentally murdered their pets. And they're telling these stories as though we should think that they are funny. And that always really, really bothers me. So don't do that. If you're the kind of person who has ever gone into a retail establishment where they have like shop pets, and you felt the need to walk up to the person behind the counter and say, "Yeah, no, cats, no, yeah, absolutely. I used to have a cat, but then I accidentally sucked it up into a vacuum cleaner, and then it exploded and caught on fire. No, it was awful. My daughter would not stop crying for days. Yeah, it was really funny. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's you're bad. You're a bad person for doing that. It makes everyone unhappy. Just fucking stop. I am doing that to get rid of it so that I can make use of the Born Leader. What I want is Born Leader. I want to get the extra card draw for this turn. I have quite a bit of card draw for this turn, as it turns out. Okay, double team back up. Okay. You'll die to your bleed. And I guess you'll just die to be punching you. Yeah, take that. Alright, hang on. Zen, when you watch this in the future, I know you're going to give me an entire mile's worth of shit over dishing that broken card. I know that you are going to, and I want you to know in advance that I forgive you for giving me as much shit as I know you're going to give me. I forgive you. I had to do what I thought. I shut up. Just shut up. Anyway, yes. When you eventually watch this, and when you eventually start to give me shit for ditching that card, just keep in mind I've already said shut up. There's not much you can do when they say shut up. By the way, I do still have actual means of getting banished cards back into my hand. It's just they actually involve, making use of existing mechanics instead of inadvertently broken ones. Anyway, moving along. We almost done? We're done. None of these. Hesselthwaite is level 8. Thank you very much, Hesselthwaite. What do you got? I don't want any of these. We are all set. We're going to forfeit. Okay. I'm going to spend some money at the black market. So black market gives you a couple of different things that are... I want to point something out. Black market has the ability to swap two characters' talents. If you have, for example, the right talent on the wrong guy, you can change that at the black market. But we've got nothing but wolves, so that isn't necessary. They all of them, they are all weapons and all talents are functionally communal anyway. I've never actually looked to see what their wares are to add a card to your deck from a choice of 10. It's expensive. So I figure I shouldn't. You know what? Let's see what this is. That's really, really expensive. I almost always go with this one, Relics. Gain 3 random upgrade tokens, because that is objectively the correct choice. Some of the upgrade tokens that you can potentially get are crazy, crazy strong. We are doing excellent right now. I don't really need too much of anything, so let's take a look and see what these 10 cards are. And the answer is nothing special. Really nothing special? I'm going to spend $500 on a quick hands? Really? Okay, well, now we know. Now we know that the correct answer is always buy the fucking upgrade tokens. Upgrade tokens, god damn it. Well, fuck you too, bear. What a prick. Oh, and now I can't afford to hire a new party member. Shit. All right, I can't afford to hire a new party member, so instead, let's go see what's at the smithy. And actually, I'll take that reserves from the smithy. You okay? All right. Here we go, the warden. All right. Okay, so first card played is going to be banished, so let's make sure that it's something that I don't care about being banished. A lot of armor to start off with. Let's get rid of the solid footing. Okay. I'm considering banishing the caster's crossbow to get that reserves back in my hand. See that? I didn't even need to use a broken and exploitative card. Hey. So, after spending this time with just wolves, my impressions of them really have not changed all that much. I knew that they were pretty strong. I see that most of their strength really does come from their... What I'm getting from all of this is that the most of the strength really does come from their talents. They have excellent fucking talents. Their passives are a lot less exciting, but their talents are top-notch. Truly, truly, truly phenomenal. So you're going to swap my back row to my front row. I don't actually care about that too much, because this dude here is going to die from his bleed. And as long as Hesselthwaite ends up on his lonesome, her lonesome, that really doesn't matter too much, does it? All right, well, first off, instinct. I see. I apologize, McGregor. This is what you had asked for. This is what you'd asked about quite some time ago, and I thought you were talking about a different card. Instinct. Draw this character's next talent card from your draw pile. Every so often, if you notice that that this card is in my hand, I'm going to go over and look at my draw pile to see what talent cards I actually have available. Who has what? Because this game does not really warn you that you can play cards in such a way that they do nothing. If you play Instinct on a character who has no cards, no talents in their draw pile, it just does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. I apologize. It's just occurred to me that this is the card that you were talking about fucking an hour and a half ago, and an entire disjointed conversation about ethics ago. So yes, that's what Instinct is. I legitimately do have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I was diagnosed in 1992 when I was like 14 years old. So back before it was cool. I recently learned that ADHD has been added to the autism spectrum. So, as it turns out, I was autistic this whole fucking time. Who knew? Because I sure as shit didn't. That's a shame. Okay, hang on. Anyway, the reason why I bring that up is that every so often I'll just start talking and then I'll forget that I'm saying something and swerve onto a completely different topic. And because I'm not at work, Because I'm not at work. Yeah, others might have, right. It's not like I hide it or anything. I'm not at work, so I'm not like trying very hard to keep myself focused and centered. So yeah, as a result. Oh, by the way, side note. So, Sever, 5 stacks of Overwhelm. Whose Sever is this? This is your Sever? Let's have it your Sever instead, so that you don't spend all of your stamina. More than 100% of their max health. Oh, there's no cards in the draw pile. I see. Okay. There we go. Hi. Sorry. Hello, the Warden. How are you doing? I don't suppose, yeah. Sorry, buddy. All right, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay. He, most of the scariest things that he does are dependent on him having... Most of the things that he does are dependent on him having other guys around. Like, he jumps to the back, he pulls the back to the front, and what actually does most of the killing during this fight are his halberdiers, which is the reason why I tend to focus on getting them down first. They are very, very dangerous. What the Warden is then going to do is he's going to zero out all of the negative effects on himself, spread a bunch of negative effects on everybody else, and then he's going to steal armor off of whoever has the most amount of armor in his on his side, and then he's going to convert that into a big damaging blow, which, if you're not prepared for it, will just delete one of your guys. That's what I thought. Yeah, the 23 armor is not that bad, though. Yeah, we're okay. I am deliberately not throwing red powder on him because I don't want to I don't want to drag this out for any longer than it has to be. All right, a moment of silence for the good boy. Is the Warden even a wolf? Is he a dog? He does not look like any of the other wolves. He looks really badass, though. Look at that poor guy. Do you think he minds being called the good boy? I'm just going to call him the good boy from now on. And if he's got a problem with it, well, he's dead now. So... Alright, here we go. First things first. Spy Master. How you doing, Spy Master? Alright. Oh, is that just it? Yep, that's just it. Okay, then. Poor guy. Oh, sorry. That was dirty. All right, so Prince, and then we are done for the day. Again, I'm going to say, because I do need to say it, I am not guaranteed to win this fight. The prince is rough times. Even under the best possible circumstances, the prince is extremely difficult. This encounter is not a guaranteed win for me. Okay. So we're going to start off again. Just to say it again, our target is Obelisk. Obelisk is the most dangerous dude on their team. I mentioned once that one of the Kingsguard throws Overwhelm around. It's Obelisk. Obelisk shuffles everybody around. Gladius does fucked up things with your weapons, like he'll banish them out of your draw pile, and he'll taunt. And Endris can hit the back row, and also throws those really obnoxious talents that do 15 damage and interact poorly with ancient amulets, so that if you don't banish them right away, they can keep on coming back and fucking with you over and over and over again. Those two are the most expensive. Okay, cool. So Obelisk just goes away. That's Sever. Bye. Bye, Obelisk. Goodbye. Bye. Okay, this encounter has basically lost most of its difficulty. Instinct? Oh, I was hoping to get the other Sever, but this will do. This will do just fine. Endris is our next target. Whose is this? Okay. Oh, hey, look at this. We're going to pull this Sever out. And you are going to use this Sever. And Gladius is just going to go away. Okay, so that's a pretty good round one. So there's a thing I want to do. I wanna load the prince up with a stupid, ridiculous shit pile of overwhelms, and then I want to throw Sever on him, and I want to see how many of the King's Guards explode. But we're already past that point, so I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. The prince cannot take. The prince cannot be killed while any of his Kingsguard still remain. Which means this. Hold on. Can I get one more? Can I get one more? Let's see. Whose is this? This is yours. We can ruin that sharpened steel. Draw a bunch. Nope. Okay. I was hoping I might be able to get at least one more overwhelm. But check this out. So, Sever on the prince. He's got 3 stacks of overwhelm on him. He cannot take 100% of his health. It will go to after 30. After he is down to 30 health, all of his subsequent damage will be redirected to one of his Kingsguards. So, is this enough? Almost. I was hoping to be able to just blow up Endris, but I'm not fussed. Hey, look at this. Endress is dead. And now you're fucked. How's it feel? You feel good about this? I'm talking to the prince. Him and me. We've got a bit of we've got a history. Okay. There's really nothing else I can do. There's really nothing else I can do. Okay. So, all Rabbit Run, I needed to get certain very specific passives in order for certain very specific passives and fucking turbo stack one god tier talent in order to break the game. With wolves, I just apparently just need wolves to easily cruise through all of this. We're gonna let the prince bleed to death. You hear that, Your Majesty? We're just gonna let you bleed to death. You okay with that? I hope you're okay with that. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not. No, I suppose it does matter. I do care. I care about your level of comfort. All right, hang on 1 second. Oathkeeper, by the way, I wasn't really even paying too close attention to how many times I was allowing the card to come back up. Oathkeeper, 32 damage and apply to whatever. So it's getting it as early as possible is exactly what you're looking for. Anyway, hang on. Okay. Oh, let's just add some little bit of indignity. Just a tiny little bit of indignity. All right. So while he is strapped down to the floor, we're going to take careful aim and commit regicide. Okay. And we are done. So, my thoughts on wolves. There is at least, again, I'm going to point this out, there is at least one talent that wolves have that is not deliberately broken. It's not working as intended. However, because it is as powerful as it is, I will. I mean, you have a right to know that it exists, and you have a right to make the decision whether or not you want to have that in your own game. Again, hold on 1 second. Goodbye. We've murdered the prince and thrown his body over the wall. Just so that you're aware of what happened over there. This overall was a very straightforward run. Lots of playing with banishes. Sever is easily one of the best talents in the game. Wolves, the power of wolves, their strength lies in their truly, truly excellent talents. And the fact that if you have wolves in your party, all weapons and all talents become communal. You have multiple characters that are capable of casting basically anything in your hand. The next time I do this, I think I'm going to try to do all weasels, just weasels, because weasels are very difficult, surprisingly so. Weasels are very, very rough. They have a hard time against the prince and also against the warden, because everything in those two encounters has magnificent plate, which is they can't take on bleeds until you've burned through enough of their armor. Anyway, thank you guys for coming along. Yeah, thank you guys for coming along. Mr. McGregor, I want to thank you very much. I'm glad that you were able to... I did actually miss you the past 2 runs, or the past 2 weeks, or however long it's been. I'm glad that you were able to come along again. I hope that this is still entertaining. Leave me a comment if there's anything in particular that you would like to see. Leave me a comment if there's anything in particular that you don't want to see. Leave me a comment if you want to yell at me and make fun of me. Thank you. It's like I appreciate it. It's nice. It's nice not feeling like I am talking to myself. I'm talking to a person. I'm going to show you what this is one more time. Hold on. So under talents, under wolf, it is this one, Solemn Vow. It is, I don't believe that it is unlockable. I think that it's something that comes as part of their regular standard kit. It is actually unlockable. It's very deep unlockable too. It's the, this I believe would be level, I think level 10 is max. So this would be level 7, level 8, something like that. This is tier 10. I think this is tier 10, or this is tier 10. Fuck it, I don't goddamn know. So, Solemn Vow. It is a deep unlockable. It's supposed to banish itself, move one card from your banish pile directly to your hand, and then self-banish. It does not banish itself. Instead, it goes into your discard pile. So this card is infinitely reusable. And if you synergize it to something like Mouse's Barrage, it'll just keep on yo-yoing back into your hand. Solemn Vow mixed with, for example, Sever is just, it's straight up broken. I want you to be aware that this card does exist. It is unintentionally broken, and it does offer benefit far beyond what was clearly intended. That being said, it does still offer that benefit, and it is your game. You have a right to break it as you see fit. So, thank you guys very much. Please be good to yourselves and be good to each other. We're all we've got. Until next time, I'll try to come up with some other fascinating lecture on fucking ethics in the real world to bore the shit out of all of you with. Thank you guys very much. I truly hope so. I generally try to stream on Saturdays. Between 11:30 and 12 is usually when I try to start. So if you can come along, please come along. And if you can't, come on over to my YouTube page where I keep all of these, and this will be up tomorrow. Good night, everybody. I love you all. Call your mothers. Your moms miss you. Good night.